join us here in early November. Actually November the 6th today. But last week, my wife and I were looking after the grandchildren, so we then have the age-old problem of what to do with them. No longer has it seemed acceptable to send her down the park with a football or a box of fireworks, so we have to find something for them to do. Weather was not that brilliant, so we're looking for something to do that was basically indoors, and we visited the Milestones Museum in Basingstoke. Now this is quite a good bet for a rainy day, I'd say. It's quite a substantial area and like a great big hangar during which they've built a village or a bit of a town, and it seems to be a very good option. Prices are moderate, about £20 for an adult and half that for a child, I think under fives go free. So it's all very good, and interestingly, the children were very enamoured with something called the pier, which is basically a load of little penny slot machines, and the youngest one, the boy, just wanted to climb on and off a bus. That seemed to be his focus of the day. But it was generally quite interesting and, of course, a little bit educational. We had enough time there to sort of wander and round, and they put on a few activities because I think at the time it was Halloween, wasn't it? Yes. A few little games, and they seem to have a continuous schedule of little games for children, maybe Christmas stuff, I'm sure. But generally, it was an interesting day. Enough for the children to be interested, and enough for the adults, really. A lot of the stuff, certainly if you're a grandparent, possibly not if you're a parent, but the grandparents, there were some very interesting, like the old shops and what have you, a bit before my time, has to be said, and a very good, I suppose, atmosphere, detailing things like the sort of wood yard, steam traction engines, a few old motorcycles, some very interesting shops. There's actually a pub on site, which does actually sell beer, and it's very much like the old-fashioned pub would have been. And it was all extremely interesting, I thought. Very surprising for a person from Reading to see just how many of the engineering works that were in and around Basingstoke and Alton, not Alton, but I think was it Alton? I don't think it was Alton, Andover and Basingstoke, and a few other little places. Thornycroft Engineering, quite a few traction engines. Everything that's in there seems to come from somewhere very local to Basingstoke, sort of North Hampshire area. And I found it interesting. As I say, the kids were duly entertained. There's a few people doing crafts and World War II area, again, probably sort of quite educational, and generally it managed to sort of fulfill that trick of what to do with a rainy day. There is a cafe on site, and if you want to take a picnic, you have to go outside and eat your picnic outside on some benches. But of course, you can go straight back in there. And the price of the tickets does include a revisit for 1 year, so effectively we can go back as many times as we like over the year. I think it's obviously something that's sponsored by the council, and it's very interesting that it focuses on Basingstoke and its history. But one thing I thought was missing, there's like a woodyard area, and obviously there's the smell of the wood. That's marvellous. I don't know how they would quite do it, but it would have been great to have the smell of the streets, as in a coal smell, because that's something that the children nowadays know nothing about. That smell of coal fires and obviously all those steam engine traction engines would have been burning coal. How quite you could do that without poisoning anybody, I don't know, but it would be good. A couple of interesting exhibits right at the end. I think there's a Gordon Keeble car, but generally it was enough. I wouldn't say you could spend the whole day there, but certainly 3-4 hours, an excellent opportunity to do something with the children. So that's it, just a very quick one really, and all these photographs, just those that I took with my camera on the day. So again, nothing too extravagant, but just give you a flavour of what we saw and really what we thought of the day. It's always satisfying when my wife is as happy as well. So yes, all of us were satisfied with the outcome. So that's it for now. We'll catch you on the next one.